is we're going to do a review of a typical setup when you see it coming. This is a unique one. This has positive divergence on the lowest time frame, which is going to be a 15-minute. And what you want to do when you see this positive divergence is take the trade, because worst case scenarios, it just goes against you 100% and losing trade. But typically, what should happen is on that positive divergence, you'll at least get a nice little bump into the trade. A nice little trend based on that positive divergence, and then the trade's either gonna, develop into a full good trade, or at least you'll get a little bit of a bump. And if it turns against you quick, you'll be able to get out at break even, or much slower than your smaller than your regular stop, because you do that. So right here we have the dollar Swiss. We have the 1 hour, 30-minute, and 15-minute charts. So right here, you see a typical single band firewire slingshot on the 1 hour. 30-minute, same time frame, you have a double banded firewire slingshot right there. Then if you go to the 15-minute, you have, look, so you have price coming down, MACD's here. This MACD is trending up this way, all looking good. So if you put it here, go back to the 1 hour, boom. Looks like, now this is going to be different. So the MACD actually crossed over to negative, okay? Look at the 30-minute in the middle chart. It's negative, but starting to slope up, okay? And you could see, hey, maybe that could be a positive divergence on MACD coming up here. Shoot up here a little bit, form a positive or negative divergence on that, but that could be a setup. But the 15-minute, you see this is crossing up. So again, trades come from the bottom up or the top down, so you don't know. So a lot of times you're going to see conflicting reports or signals or indicators in different time frames. So sometimes the trade's going to develop on the lower charts and develop higher, and sometimes the higher charts are just going to outmuscle the lower charts, and other slingshots and chart patterns are going to develop. So it's all probabilities. You don't know which ones are going to work which way. So you just have to play it objectively without fear and play the numbers, random distribution. So right here, if you look on the 15-minute, you have price coming down. Let's make this a little bit bigger. You have price coming down, and stochastics is making positive divergence. So when you see this developing, you come here, you draw the arrows. Boom, we got a slingshot here, double banded slingshot here. Here, price is going up in a positive direction. This I'm going to probably put as a negative. We'll do that red here. This is the big kicker right here. I really like seeing positive divergence, especially on if you're doing a 1 hour, I love it on the 30-minute. This is a unique case. It's on the 15 minutes, which is the lowest time frame. This is good right here. I see that's positive. So everything looking good. This looks like a little trail off. The trend on these things are up. See, it's up, up, little pullback, up. Now this is the little topping part, but you don't really know what's happening yet. So let's go to the red. Only red I see here, and again, we don't have the upper time frames, is right here. This is actually going down. But then again, it can go down again, higher time chart, and it goes up. So you don't know, so you got to play this. This is what I want to key on. This positive divergence, even though this is a 15-minute chart, that's all right. Because I see this positive divergence, I should get a little pop on this in the direction of the trade. So if we go down to, see if we have this on my MT4, same charts here. See how these things different, didn't look as good on these charts as the other one in here, right here. Harder to see this divergence here, but it is here. That's why I really like those pro real time. So take a quick look at those slingshots, divergence, and see how much clearer you can see this. This goes way down here. This is much sharper, much easier to see this divergence versus the on this MT4. I like having these two different charts. I think it's important so you can see the difference and draw some different conclusions on that. So here, you look here, the divergence coming in. You have to make this. Let's make this a little bit bigger. These charts just aren't as flexible. Yeah, you can still see it right there, but I'm trying to get the MACD when it switches. So it comes here, goes negative, it's starting to go positive. Probably switches right here. So if you come in here, if you're watching this, you're probably not going to take, and this is a 15-minute chart, you're probably going to take it right here. So you draw your thing. That's an 9 pips right there. That's such a small stop. You want to probably give it a little bit of breathing. So 10 pips. So on a 2-for-1, you're getting up 20 right here. So you would have got that. You got to figure out the spread. So it's tight. It's really tight depending on how to play it in here. You didn't have that much of a drawdown right here after this. And again, it's tough to get in there. Is this a market play? Is this a limit and not get in? Again, this is something that you need to kind of iron out. And maybe on these smaller time frames, you just get in with the market, and it goes because it's so small. You don't want to miss the opportunity. But so if you got in here, the peak is 25. The spread on here is you might have just missed it, and that happens. So that's what you got to do. But I like the fact that you see this divergence here, and you take that trade, going for a pop. Again, this is, and that's 2-for-1. Even if you did you did a 10 point, you got 15 pips on here. Let's say that's your spread. Say 3. You need 15 more, so you'd need what? If you're going for 15, 3, another spread out, you have to go for 20. So even right here with the spreads, everything like that, going for 2 to 1.5, you wouldn't make that. So that's probably maybe what you want to do in these lower time frames. You didn't, it didn't work out. It was topping. This never went over. What you want to look at is this never went over. This developed. This kind of breaking down here, maybe some warning signs, 30-minute, kind of shot its low, didn't do anything, a little bit, then started turning red. So again, this is where you might just close it out for maybe a 1-to-1. You don't know. But the point is, when you see this divergence, you almost always just have to just fire in, figure out the stop is close. If it even just came up a little bit and then came down against you, you could get out, half your pip stop, 5, 6 pips. But again, you're taking that full pip. That's what you really want to look out for. Look out for these. They happen on the 15, the 30 minutes great. On the upper chart, if you see it on the 1 hour, look right here. On the 1 hour chart right here, this is a double banded. See this positive divergence. Boom, that is a great freaking trade. Let's see where it comes on here. Right here on the 30-minute. That's a pinch. And let's see if we can go back here on, is that where it happens there? Yeah, so you have another pinch right there on the 15. You got, looks like that's positive divergence too. What you can do is come here, cursor on chart. Let's do all charts. You can see this. What you do on this chart, come up here, and we're going to look for this time frame right here, how that goes. Make it bigger, and you can see that's definitely positive divergence, right? So again, that just shows you the power of these things right here. That's a great move. Boom, this goes green, that goes green. Let's look into the dollars. Let's just do it right here. Let's get the ruler out. let's say you take this trade. Let's move this. This is where we are right here, right? So the entry would have been right here. You're up here. And let's do the roller on this. You'd get in right here. And that cross. Yeah, everything's going up. You got the divergence. Let's say right here. Again, look, you're at the top of this, and I've got to mention this. You're at the top of this slingshot. So, oh, why am I taking this? They didn't draw the fibs. But the positive divergence, your stop's going to be, what, 20 pips? You don't have to take it all the way down, but just say 20 pips. You go for 40. Right here, you got your 2 to 1. Everything's still looking good. Right here, 2 to 1 on that trade. But that's the thing you got to watch out for, because you might not always want to take this trade. Because look, wow, I have no room here. This is not a big slingshot that I'm looking to take here. So if you draw some fibs on how much room you really have, probably not going to be a lot. Come down here. Here's my slingshot. Look at that. I'm not getting into this thing until I'm past the 50, almost the 618. The normal rules say don't take that trade. So you have to kind of iron out with the positive divergence. Maybe you kind of negate that because you'll shoot this up further. Kind of iron that out. So that's the thing. You can't always, if there's no divergence, maybe you want to keep it below the 0.338 fib. But if it's not, if you get that positive divergence, you can go to the half line or even above and go for the quick pop and just monitor it that way. In these quick pops, you would have to be able to sit there and watch the trade because if it does come back, you want to be able to close it out. But again, just put it on. If you can't watch it, you only do maybe a 1.5 risk reward because yeah, these things could turn like you see the other one. So that's it. Just wanted to kind of get this out there and have a working video of these divergence setups on the smaller time frames and just go for the quick pop and kind of iron this out over time. And that's what these next couple of months are, ironing out the little game plan and then stick to it.